they call the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, the home of the Raptors, where we're broadcasting live. And before we get going, let's go. Thanks, David. Right on the money. Philly's passion for sports is something that makes them so unique. Hey, Smitty, when you get this far into the season, we see more teams having to deal with the occasional back-to-back game. Just how hard is it to play 2 nights in a row?
It's extremely hard. You have to be on top of your game, like you say, for night in and night out for back-to-back. And what makes it also hard is the opponent, also the amount of travel. Sometimes you get in at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and you got to turn around and play again. It just hasn't been enough time to recover. That's when you have a deep roster, those guys can help.
People don't realize back in the day there were 4 to 5 days, 5 and 7 days, and those are tough.
Those are extremely tough.
Look at the 76ers starting group. Joel Embiid out there with Dario Saric. There's Fultz. Then it's Robert Covington. And it's Simmons in at the 3 spot. Screen by Ibaka. Here's DeRozan. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. Now here's Fultz. Now recovering. Outside, Simmons. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And what skill from Simmons. A total genius at reading the defense and exploiting them in the paint.
Ibaka misses the DeBulNell215's. Outside for Love. The putback controls the rebound. Puts it back up and in.
Gotta love the big man DeBulNell215's fighting for that extra chance, and he was rewarded for his effort.
Pass to Saric. He takes it to Fultz. Screen by Saric. 5 on the clock. Fultz the pass to Covington. There's Embiid, and the 76ers tack on 2 more.
Heating up early on. This is exactly how he wanted to start the night.
Well, he has the ability to get you off with the right foot. Now it's just about sustaining it.
Don't watch that. Yeah.
DeBulNell215's against Embiid.
Yes.
And Serge Ibaka, the bucket on the assist from DeBulNell215's.
If you let Serge get looks in there, he's
I
going
think
to
it's
shoot
right.
for a very high percentage.
Let's watch the band on.
And there's the
You know what I noticed that?
That's his first foul.
Of mine.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in.
It had a name and it was called. And the kid said,
In the game against Toronto, very impressive. Over to the wing, 6 on
can
the
I see
shot
my
clock.
grade?
Embiid, no good.
Because I got an 93.
From the field so far. I know he passes no out.
And another 8.
Now here's DeRozan. 23 points for him the last game against.
Why does he stay in the tank?
What happened at 20?
He is not an easy guy to get around.
Mom showed me that like the purple thing.
His numbers are looking pretty
I
good.
want to I was like,
Average up around
I
18
want to
and a
see
half points a game.
Marcy like, don't show them that.
Here's on the goal.
You're like, don't show them that. What are you doing? What's up?
Isaiah, you're on my phone cord. Stop. Doing it on purpose.
And here's Fultz. Playing some fun offensively, switching for his first points of the game. It's Saric on the key. They're holding it here by the 76ers. And the ball
You know,
goes
the
out.
90 is still 30 for 85 and 90. Right now, we could change what's in there. Change this all.
That's nice.
There, C and a B and an A.
Wait, for an extra point guard or this?
That's the program, but it's still early.
Attempts to drop in the first one. Some
We did
firepower
have
for
B
this
minus
offense
for that.
tonight.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively.
Get off of it.
Having a good, efficient start to this game offensively. Let's see if he can keep it going.
Here's Simmons. To the left wing, Embiid wide open. Offensive struggles continue, missing again.
Mommy.
And a foul calling the shot. Not on the wheel that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
Well, DeMar DeRozan grew up in Compton, idolizing Kobe Bryant. He's patterned his game after him as an isolation scorer, able to hit tough shots and this is where he feels 100% comfortable taking all the points he can get.
Embiid the screen. Over in the corner, Fultz. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play. And DeRozan always looking to get into his defender. He's got the size and the athleticism to finish over the top.
And he has worked a lot on his ball handling and footwork. A master at the mid-range game. He's a bucket getter. In isolation plays, he's comfortable creating his own offense.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the line.
The Raptors shoot their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. That free throw missing.
For a player his size, Valanciunas has always been a good free throw shooter. We won't see a hack of foul anytime soon.
Valanciunas is far from a finished product, Steve. His coaches and teammates feel he will get better, but in your opinion, where does he need to improve?
I think on the defensive end, he does a nice job of blocking shots, but I would love to see him in rotations, being able to be there a little bit earlier. And then on the offensive end, extend his range a little bit more, and also have somewhat of a go-to move down on the low block.
Nobi trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Simmons, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Kyle Lowry picks one up there.
Simmons is taking it strong to the cup. He's looking for a foul. Love this guy's aggressive.
Norman Powell checked in for the Raptors. So he comes up empty at the line.
And really few teams in NBA history have undertaken the sort of extreme makeover the Sixers did over the last 4 years. And a lot of losing along the way, but the fans have been surprisingly supportive of the rebuilding process.
6 to shoot. Target from outside. 76 is trailing. Covington kicks to Simmons. Can't tie it up, but that one's no good. And before the rebuild, the Sixers for a long time were stuck in mediocrity, treading water, Greg, as they might say.
Yeah, it's hard to make that leap without top draft picks. And the Sixers plumbed the depths, if you will. And now, though, I think they found their treasure trove.
Also dishes to Valanciunas. Powell with the screen. Back to DeRozan. Shoots over Covington. And DeMar DeRozan, the bucket on the assist from Valanciunas. 8 points for DeMar DeRozan. Fultz takes the charge. Feeds it to Fultz. George with the screen for Fultz. From the arc. George, that's good.
These defenders had better start closing down on shooting.
Raptors with the lead. Powell with it. He's in some playing time, but no score yet for him. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials on the contact, and he'll shoot two. Well, it is something that every NBA player has, and usually comes into the league with. So, Smitty, what was your ritual, and how did you come about it?
Well, I think one for me, I have my mom and sister tattoo on my arm. I like to hold those two and just to say hi to them. And then next, I have to take my hands and wipe the sweat to make sure I can get grip on the basketball. Then take a deep breath. And then over and over, I would just talk about my high school experience.
Come on, man, you gotta make them free throws, boys.
Routine is what coaches always kind of taught young players to get into, right? When they get to the line.
Yeah, for sure. And I know one time, Kevin, I always look for that nail at the free throw line, and I couldn't find it. It seemed like it threw me off.
Here's DeRozan, 6 to 15-footer. DeRozan's got 10 points.
Oh, starting out in the rhythm. That's 4
Conceded shot. No good. And Toronto will come the other way. Coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
And you know, this can happen on the road. You're out defending guys who have just gotten into a comfort zone playing at home.
Well, you have to have an aggressive mindset, and you have to travel to disrupt their rhythm.
Matthews, no one around him. Can't tie up as that one's no good.
You can tell he's frustrated. To get that good of a look from three, and he didn't make it.
And Miles kicks to Siakam. He's at the pick. Powell, the pass to DeRozan. Powell puts up a three. Good on the triple. And it's a 6-point after lead.
Great heads-up look there from DeRozan to get his teammate an easy basket.
Charge just screen on DeRozan. And Embiid the screen. Bennett with the bucket.
Okay, it's on. Trading blows here from distance.
You know what? Both sides are in rhythm. The defense out there having no effect.
To the middle. Pirtle gets the foul. Now here's DeRozan. Defense right on him. Now here's Fultz. He definitely had a good game in their win against the Raptors. Outside, Reddick. Out to the wing. Here's Embiid. And Embiid throws it down.
And the one-hand slam
Trust
just
the
looks
process.
so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Foul picks the Miles. There's the feed to DeRozan. Pass to Siakam. Good. And DeRozan picking up the assist. Siakam's got his first points of the game. Embiid the screen. And it's caught.
Gotta love the shot blocking ability of Pirtle. Wonderful timing right there.
And the Raptors with the ball. Their last meeting was in Philadelphia, where they were unable to fight off the 76ers.
It's a tough game to lose. I mean, they actually put up a pretty solid effort, I thought. But when you're battling for a road win, even when you play hard, nothing's guaranteed.
You always want to try to steal as many games away from home as you can in the short game.
Now here's Fultz. DeRozan defending. It's Reddick on the wing. Takes it to Fultz. Reddick with it. Fouls there. George has the open look. They get it back to the right side. Who's back up? Jerome grabs the miss.
That's one of his shots in his arsenal, but it was terrific rim protection.
Now Powell. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. And a foul calling the shot. Got him on the way up that time. He'll shoot two right here. And the Raptors unique in the NBA, and they have a whole nation behind them.
And basketball continues to gain in popularity, especially with the younger generation in Canada. The Raptors are coming to relevance at the perfect time, and that rabid fan base energized by how competitive this has been the last couple seasons.
On the 76ers with some changes. Amir Johnson's checked in for Joel Embiid, and it's TJ McConnell for Fultz. And the first one goes.
And for the Sixers, trust the process was the motto. And the process now finally bearing fruit. You see the young talent. Now it's about figuring out how all these pieces fit together.
27 seconds left here in the first quarter. McConnell gets the right. And doesn't go on the chance to tie.
And they have a narrow edge here in rebounding. Very hard and a wonderful job. That's going to play moving forward.
Back to Powell. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. to Siakam. That's for two. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
This is what you're looking for, but still able to convert.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
They've done well at taking advantage of late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
And here is Powell. 6 points for him. And Miles gets to DeRozan. Puts it up from 15. And that one, good. DeRozan's got 12.
DeMar DeRozan, one of the best defenders on the mid-range jump shots.
And so it's DeMar. J.J. Redick, a focal point in his tenure with the Duke Blue Devils. Both up.
I think I'll forever be associated with him.
There's no doubt that he is such a Duke, J.J. Redick, and it's hard to argue with that school's incredible success rate, whether you like him or not. And I know you've had a first-hand view of Duke a couple times.
Listen, I have the utmost respect for J.J. and coaching and what they've done there. And then listen, you can be known for a lot worse things in your life and having gone to a lot worse places. But I think for him, it's not about where he's been. I think it's about where he's going, what's going to be the next chapter in his career.
All right, the second quarter begins. Moment. And from what we've seen so far for the Raptors, guys, your thoughts?
So far, they've been active, scoring the basketball, built up a little lead here, and looking good.
The play calling has been perfect, backed up by beautiful execution. They've certainly captured the moment in that first quarter.
And now let's check out the last courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Setting the floor for the Raptors. They got Lowry. He's out there with Norman Powell. Pirtle is out there with C.J. Miles. And it's Siakam in the first update here, so let's catch up with Dave Holmgren.
Well, Kevin, it may not be the era in the NBA, but Jonas Valanciunas has something to say about that. He said, I try to make sure they don't forget about centers. I'll keep reminding them. The league is full of guys that can do different things, but I still think you need a center that can rebound the ball and score in the low post. Agreed. Kevin?
The centers are still important, Dave. Good to see Valanciunas making his presence felt in the paint. Simmons checked in for Philadelphia. Back to McConnell. A second chance effort. No good from Simmons.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
To the paint. Rebounds. Philadelphia's next possession. And look now at the breakdown between 3-point and 2-point shots attempted here tonight for the 76ers. And the Raptors with some changes. Baca comes in for Pascal Siakam. And Anunoby subbed in for Norman Powell. Rashawn Holmes is checked in for the 76ers. There's the pick. Johnson the screen. The steal. Here's Anunoby, and he pops in the layup off the glass. Anunoby's got his second bucket of the night.
Strong move at the rim. Overpowers the smaller defender.
And that replay presented by Under Armour, showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast-break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment. Here's Johnson. This is it to McConnell. Red is in the corner. Here is Holmes. He feeds it to Simmons. Holmes on the screen. Tries again. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
No answer for Simmons. A tenacious scorer who finishes with muscle through contact.
Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Jakob Poeltl. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Fultz is checked in for T.J. McConnell.
And Ben Simmons, who was first pick 2016 out of LSU, probably the most heralded player to come out of that school since the great Shaquille O'Neal. And I tell you what, Simmons has drawn some comparisons to some other greats, most notably LeBron James and Magic Johnson.
An easy 2 points on the layup. Simmons got 7 points in the game.
And really, Simmons is nearly impossible to contain when he's sprinting to the hoop. An athletic, but he causes defenders fits.
Here's Lowry. It's deflected. corner, Miles with it. That's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain possession here. The Sixers want to ease him into it, but they see Ben Simmons not just as a point forward, but a point guard as well.
And he's got all the ability. Think about this. The Sixers haven't had players 6'10 or taller average over 3 assists since Wilt Chamberlain back in 1967. The second they drafted Simmons, you knew that would change.
Simmons on the wing. Dishes at the Fultz. 5 on the clock. Philadelphia has got a shot off. Holmes can't get it to go in. For the 76ers, they'll ask you to win against the Raptors.
And in that one, it was all about shutting down the paint. They were just terrific in terms of their rim protection.
It was big-time shot blocking. They were energetic, intimidating, and that really affected the outcome.
Yeah, and checking out some stats here for Ben Simmons. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. He's around 18 points per game, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds. And what sets him apart is his rebounding. And as you can see, he's been in peak form.
You know what? It's part effort, part instincts. You see teams trying to keep a body or two on him, but that's easier said than done.
Beyond the arc. I don't know, B. No good. 76ers trailing. Here's Simmons. He has 7. Shots in the screen. And Brennan kicks to Simmons. Johnson with a screen on Myers. Simmons. Second chance shot. And there's the nice layup by Johnson. It's a tie ball game.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebound has been the one differentiator thus far.
It's stolen by Fultz. Now the 76ers on the break. Fultz with the ball.
Let's go!
You can't let Simmons get going off of these dunks. His confidence just soars when he slams it down like that.
The Raptors have won only 2 of 7 from the field since the second quarter got underway. Out to the right wing. Valanciunas dishes to Lowry. It's deflected. And here we go. Fast break. Fultz has got it. On the wing. A putback. And
Benjamin.
right there. Simmons got the lead up to 4 now for Philadelphia.
His temperature is rising. I mean, it is rising.
So, timeout called here. The first for Toronto. And you see Markelle Fultz, and now players wasn't as high coming into college, but he changed that tune after 1 season.
And in that final year, Fultz grew a full 3 inches. I think that helped move him into the elite prospect range. And at 6'5", with that 6'10" wingspan, he has the special size you look for. It really was a low bright spot on an otherwise underachieving college team.
Joel Embiid, he's checked in for the 76ers. Robert Covington comes in for Fultz. The dish to Lowry. Valanciunas sets the screen for Lowry. 6 on the shot clock. Embiid with the steal. Here's Simmons.
Go, Benjamin.
And love watching Simmons run the floor, just eating up so much space in so little time.
Valanciunas with a screen on Simmons. Lowry kicks the Myers. Here's Valanciunas. And again, no good by Toronto.
And they continue to control the play.
Simmons with it. He's got 13. Holmes sets a screen. And again, it's Ben Simmons. And it's an 8-point 76ers lead.
And what it looks like now, guys, their confidence is growing. And so is this league. But they can't just sit back and enjoy it. They need to keep up the momentum.
Ibaka with a screen on Simmons. Lowry against Simmons. They need this. The offensive rebound. Valanciunas. And there's a whistle. He was going up for layup. It looked like there was some contact. There wasn't sure if that call or foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll hit the free throw line. And Toronto making a change. DeRozan's technique. And Valanciunas out of Lithuania, the 5th overall pick back in 2011.
Yeah, he's still quite young. You know, a lot of talent offensively. Defensively, he's probably... Okay. And Simmons is a riverhead scorer, a dominant offensive talent who can score in so many ways.
Let's it go from 11. Lowry, good. Lowry got 5 points in the quarter.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
You know, going up against size, you know you have to get separation. Nice move from mid-range.
And Simmons kicks to Redick. Simmons left side. On the pass to Holt. They'll get another chance.
Wow, another opportunity. Just everything going their way.
I was about to say, why the fuck open?
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Pass to Anunoby. Valanciunas with a screen on Redick. Here's Anunoby. Valanciunas and staying with the play. Valanciunas.
Lose track of Valanciunas, he'll sneak right in there and punish you with the putback dunk.
Simmons passes to Redick. And B, the screen. Holmes kicks to Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have made for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick-up.
Fred Durant really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
That's what happens when you get an excellent screen like that. He had plenty of space, slash right toward the basket.
DeRozan against Covington. Another shot. That's good. The 76ers leaders go down to just 6 points for the basket from DeRozan.
They say that DeRozan has been involved in every score out there, and this one just zipping around the floor.
And B, the screen. Pass to Holmes. Outside, Simmons. Redick dishes to Embiid. Goes to the reverse layup and pops it in. Embiid's got the lead. Back up to 8 now for the 76ers. Lowry against Simmons. Screen by Valanciunas. Now here's DeRozan. He's got 14. It's blocked. Here we go. 1-on-1. Now Simmons. Holmes on the screen. Redick inside the line. Outside it there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Outside DeRozan. He kicks to Valanciunas. Shoots over Holmes. It's a big night. Thompson goes in. 10 points for Valanciunas.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Lowry against Simmons. Here's Redick. The basket good on the assist from Simmons. Simmons got 3 assists tonight.
That's Redick shooting in a nutshell. A quick trigger release once he gets his hands on the ball.
Here's DeRozan. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
What I love is he takes the right angle, affects the shot without fouling.
And B, the pass to Covington. And B inside. Valanciunas is there. He gives them a double-digit lead. And it's a 10-point 76ers lead.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Bucket in the boat. Guarded by Holmes. Shots good by Ibaka.
And they repeatedly closed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And here is Simmons. He's got 19. Embiid with the screen on Lowry. And Simmons penetrating. He's going by Kyle Lowry. Next break, Toronto. shot by DeRozan.
Keep your head on the swivel with DeRozan on the floor. He'll finish way up top with an alley-oop.
And it would have pounded him and fallen the top line. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks. Tight game tonight, Dwayne. How do you break this thing open in the second half?
Well, number one is we got to make sure we get in a defensive disposition. You know, right now we got to trade buckets. We're anticipating putting them on the foul line. So we got to play from an anticipatory style of defense, whereas we're not reacting to where they have us on our heels.
Okay, thanks for your time. Back to you.
Zach, what are you doing?
Snap your W-2 and file Fed and State for free, guaranteed.
What's happening, family? It's your man Desire. Welcome to... Let's announce the information that it will be. And that's not the case. Things rarely start how...
With percentages, but that's like 0.000 something percent, right? 102 out of roughly 9 or so million. Zara might have the sales number better than I do. 2K. But I know on some lists, 2K was the second game behind Call of Duty, which is a lot, right? So if you are the elite in any field that you're in, you need to seriously think about that when you're saying, I can either be one of the 102 best people in this field, or I can earn 50 grand. I can keep my 50 grand a year because my girl and my wife is still young. Now, again, your family, your decision, but we're talking about how you look at it. The mentality when evaluating it shouldn't be what's more risky, what do I have to lose? It should be, what is the most I could get out of this situation? If I join this 2K league, okay, it needs a lot of views to be successful. What can I do to get those views? And what can I do with those views? What are those views for me and my family? What can I use to blow that up and do this other thing? Because I am part of 102 people out of 9 or so million. I will never in any other field be in that rarefied air ever again. What can I do with that? That's what you're thinking of.
I mean, what I say is that that's the way I think. I mean, look, I'm a grown man that made a career out of writing about sports video. I mean, what I do didn't even exist, really, for the most part, until I started doing it. So nobody got to sell me on drink. I'm waking up more so than drinking. But what I'm saying is that everybody is not built that way.
True. And what we're saying is the process to be built like that. The process to be built like that is to change how you think. If we can change how you think, right, we can change your outcomes. And if we change your outcomes, we change your life, right? And so that's what we're trying to show people is that, like, even for me, this conversation, this is how I know that what Books is saying is the truth. Way back years, how many years ago was it, Books, when you had that conversation?
Wow, now we talking, I mean, it couldn't have been any later.
All right, so we're talking 08, 09.
08 probably.
It might have been earlier, but anyway, 08, 09, right? And at this time, lots of guys on the internet were coming out with their own either PDFs or CD, DVDs, right, with their own product, right? So think about what we're doing on YouTube. The dudes were coming out with their own product and they were selling it. So I hit up Books and I was like, Books, man, hey, Cats is out here making money. I got a big voice. I think I'm gonna do this. And he told me, you shouldn't do that. He was like, no, what you want to do is not focus on the money at all. He said, what you want to focus on is that when it comes to digital basketball, you want to be the voice. You want to be the guy that everybody turns to and they say, let's see what Czar thinks about this. that was his advice. He said, don't go for the money. The money's, don't worry about the money. Forget the money. What you want is bigger than money. And this is the same speech that he's trying to give everybody else. And it was the same thing for me. It wasn't like the 2K opportunity came and it was way better than what I was currently doing. You know what I mean? Like, I had to do some sacrifices. Big Mama stepped up. Everybody, it was a whole family team effort, but it was a dream, and we went after it. And it turned into, so what it turned into, I couldn't have told you that that's what it was going to be when we started. I couldn't have said it. So, shouts out to my man, Book. So when he's talking about changing your mentality, he worked with me for a long time on changing my mentality from, there's only a few things out there, to there's more than enough for everybody, including me. And when I started thinking different, you put me on some different books that I was reading, and after that, I was going. And that's the same mentality. So we're talking about changing your mentality, changing how you see things. Everything that you see that looks like a problem, some of those are opportunities. And man, if you start thinking creatively and start using your brain, you'll start finding ways to flip that stuff. Your mind will come up with ways to make things that seem like a problem, turn them into opportunities. And now you're seeing the world different, you're getting different results, you're meeting different people, you're in different circles. Like, imagine what 6 months of hanging out in the NBA circles can do for you as a person, for your personal development. They're gonna have you with a nutritionist. They're gonna have you, you know what I'm saying, with somebody teaching you how to talk to the press. They're gonna have you, you know what I mean? They're gonna be pushing you videos. I mean, so it's a whole lot that comes with the package, and the package comes with promise. If situation A can change my life forever, but what I'm doing right now, I can just keep doing, and you know, and I might get phased out. Just evaluate that, but evaluate it from the standpoint of, I am full of, I am capable of anything. I am capable of all that a human is possible. And if you think like that, you might open up some different opportunities for yourself. I like it. Hey man, I learned from my teacher, baby. Books Nelson in the building. Hey, now we talked about this the combine situation. I want to get right to the NBA happenings because a lot's been going down. Matt, you guys had a show just the other night. I know you guys already covered the trades. Can you walk us through? Let's start with the 3-team trade.
Okay, we'll go with the Knicks. It was the Knicks, the Mavericks, and the Nuggets. So Doug McDermott goes to the Dallas Mavericks. Devin Harris goes to the Denver Nuggets, and Emmanuel Mudiay goes to the New York Knicks.
I've been waiting all week to see what Book's thought about getting Mudiay. I don't know where he's going with this, but Book's for real. Are you worried about what this might do to his development? Because they already play Jared Jack too much when he's out there. You know, what are your thoughts with New York and getting this player?
I'm not worried about Frank at all, because Frank is so young that they have a lot of leeway to bring him along slowly from the perspective of a point guard, ball handler, decision maker, and all that stuff. More than anything, is that Mudiay is trash. So, I mean, he got jammed. So, you know, I mean, I said this, in fact, me and OG was still on the show when Mudiay was drafted. And I said, I think his jump shot's broken. Yeah. Right? And OG said, no, I think his jump shot's fine. I'm not going to say I told you so, but statistically, he's literally like one of the worst shooters in the league since he's been drafted. Right? Like, for people with as many attempts as he has, he is literally at the bottom. It's like bottom 5. Shout out to Lonzo. So bringing in a non-shooting point guard, and the thing is, I mean, honestly, I don't see how he is even as good as Frank is right this very second. He's a way worse defender. He's a way worse passer. And at very best, they are equivalent at shooting if we're still talking strictly statistically. But the eyeball test will tell you Frank is going to be a much better shooter.
Well, now what about your thing that point guards take longer to develop in the league? Like you always say you got to give the young player time.
I totally agree with that, but honestly, I think right now that would be blind optimism. In the case of Mudiay, and it doesn't mean he can't get better. He absolutely can get better. But all signs are pointing to that he is a complete bust. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's cold, man.
Right now,
that's
he
cold.
is trash.
Come on, man. The kid is still. It's like, what year is this for him?
But it's year 3. But here's the thing. Go ahead, Phil.
Last thing I'm gonna say is I'm not upset about it because we gave up Dougie McBuckets and the second round draft pick. We have, because of Porzingis' injury, we're probably gonna wind up with a very high draft pick. So, it's the fact that we're going to be getting more young talent and all that other stuff is fine. Moutier is another body. I'm not mad at the trade acquisition. The bottom line is we have 0 good players on our team right now outside of debatably Enes Kanter. He's the only player that can start on the playoffs.
I'm not sold that Moutier is complete trash. Now, did I watch all the games in Denver? No, I did not. But the boy is not awful. He can run a pick and roll, and his jumper can be fixed. And I think
he's shooting 37% from 3 this year. He's not bad. He's 37% from 3. Now, granted, he makes 0.9 a game, so obviously you can take it from there. But he has improved, which is good. Now, Nelson's right. His defense, the potential. He's coming out everybody's like, oh, he'll be like John Wall, play defense and stuff like that. He has not reached that level yet, but he's still young. So, and I like Nelson. What did you say? 3-4 years for these young guys, right?
Absolutely. Give him time.
All right. I thought you might be a little bit more optimistic on his athleticism side, that he could grow into a decent.
I gotta stay consistent. What I say about Dennis Smith Jr. I don't need that kind of athleticism. I want to point for a company. You know what I'm saying?
Fine, folks, you don't like him. You'd rather they didn't make the trade. We get it.
No, I think the trade is a net nothing. We lost Dougie McBuckets in the second round draft pick for a guy who may improve. But if he doesn't, so what? It's the main thing is somehow getting Noah out of the Knicks and drafting. The Knicks have to draft and get Noah out of it. And that's what they got to do. This is not important, so I don't really care about it. But if you ask me to discuss it, he's trash.
Question for you, Nelson. How did they get Noah out of a Knicks uniform with that contract?
Kill it.
Man, real talk though, man. Like, if you a grown man and you know you ain't doing what they paying you to do, you should get that money back. You know what I mean? Like, he really he came. Remember they said he was doing pull-ups outside or whatever, trying to show him my shoulders still work. Man, he hustled them folks, man, and you should be able to get your money back.
He hustled Phil.
Yeah, well, Phil should have retired many years ago. All right, hit us with the next one. Hey, and let's. Does Chicago have a vote on this trade?
Well, I love Noah. I always will love Noah. But Noah has been cooked for about 3 years.
Man.
So, I always love Noah, though. Noah is one of my favorite Bulls of all time.
You had to respect him when he could play. You know what I mean? But I really...
It was beyond the talent. The dude just... I mean, he's loyal. He's a beast. He came to Chicago and was active in our community like he was from here. And he did stuff that people from Chicago wouldn't do. So for me, it's always players over teams. Always players over teams. So yeah, Noah's my top.
That's what's up. All right, hit us up, Matt. What's next?
I was going to go with Noah Vonleh, but I'm going to save that one. I'm going to go with Elfrid Payton. Goes to Phoenix for a second-round pick. Now, mind you, when Orlando, Philly drafted Payton a few years ago, had to give up all picks and stuff. Now they basically give him up for the second-round pick. They got basically nothing for him.
Man, personally, I'm not a big fan of Payton in a league where your point guard should be able to shoot and score. I just don't like his game, and I'm not saying that to say that I'm the arbiter of who really has a game. Maybe he can play. I don't enjoy watching him play. I don't see what he adds to a team from the point guard position really. and his hair is ridiculous. It's blocking its own shot at this point. Yes. And I'm one to let people man, when your hair blocks your own shot, you know what I mean? Like, come on, fam. Like, for real. I don't know, but somebody talk to me about this kid. What can he do in
I'm glad you said that, because our guys over at B-Ball Breakdown, Coach Nick, Dave before said the exact same thing about his hair. Yeah, it's bad.
It's terrible, man. And I think he might get 6 more inches on his vertical if he cuts it off.
I think his hair only bothers people because he don't make jump shots.
Well, his hair is the reason why he don't make them. He can't see.
Sometimes it moves in front of his face and it's shot like it's. Like
it does, doesn't it?
YouTube that. Like YouTube Alfred Payton's hair and his jumper. Like you can see it happens a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, his hair is, you know, a little out of control for sure. I thought that when he got drafted. I listened to the reason why he said he kept it, and I kind of understood the whole connection to the thing. But I think it's one of them things that, like I said, if the dude could shoot, all of that stuff would just become part of his brand. But now it's just part of what annoys you about him because he don't make shots. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He's one thing I can say, he's a good defender. He does lock down on defense, and he's a decent ball handler. But like Nazar was saying, if you're a point guard in this day and age, you just can't knock down an open shot, bro. It's a bad situation. It's a bad situation.
And it's not like, you know, he's getting to the cup like D Rose or somebody else. You know what I mean? It's like, I used to have a college teammate, man. And every time we had some type of team meeting, everything would break down to him asking everybody, what do you bring to the table? And that's what I be asking Alfred, man, what do you bring to the table? Why are you here? Why is your jersey filled? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But, you know, what are they thinking? They'll be a form of great backcourt with, who's the shooter they got out there?
Him and Booker.
So, yeah, him and Booker out there together.
I don't know if that's going to be a great backcourt. I love Devin Booker. That kid's fantastic, but I don't know if Alfred Payton's the guy you want to team with.
Yeah, and I don't know either because he's so good with the ball in pick and roll. You know what I mean? And you know where Payton's man's going to be. Right in that thing where he's going to punch.
Honestly, I think worst case scenario, Alfred Payton probably a solid backup guard.
I like that.
You know, I think, we're kind of dogging on him. He is still a younger player.
After the work you just gave your boy, the Knicks guard?
Alfred Payton's way better than Kubiak. He's a better player than Kubiak. Let's get that straight. Like, as not great as I think Alfred Payton is, like I said, I don't even think Alfred Payton is a starting point guard on a decent team. But he's way better than Kubiak right now.
Well, Alfred Payton has drastically improved his shooting this year. Drastically. He's shooting 37% from three-point range this year.
He's not even taking 2 a game.
No, he's not taking 2.
Why y'all keep bringing up percentages of guys who don't shoot threes? These guys are only shooting corner threes when the crowd is yelling shoot, and then people will bring up percentages. That's what happens when you look at somebody's stat box on here. All right, 37%.
There's some value though to limiting your shots that you take and taking good shots, and he's shooting 52% from the field overall. So I could kind of go with that if he was shooting like 44% from the field or 42% from the field, so which means that he's not making anything from anywhere. But if you look at the trend on his statistics, if you look at the trend on his shooting, his field goal percentage has gone up every single season of his career.
You know what? Because he's getting more and more open every single season.
Well, he's making.
And here's the thing though, Brian, if your point guard can't either consistently hit the three or consistently finish at the basket and get to the free throw line, he's probably not a starter. That's about the line. You know? And that's
I don't think he's a starter. I don't think he's a starter. I agree with what you're saying. He is probably a decent backup at this point. Yeah. But I think from what it looks like, it looks as though he's working on his game, at least.
He's a young player. He can get better.
Yeah, when I see a guy's, you know, shooting trending upwards in that way, like his is, it tells me that they're at least working. He has not. I don't think he's plateaued.
I mean, if he's gonna work, I hope he's working. But
hey, it's not like that's a given now. We've seen some guys in the league who have checked out.
Yeah, like I said, I think Elfrid Payton is a solid backup point guard right now at this point in his career. And if that's what the Suns got, cool. He doesn't really need to do more than that for the Suns. They have other problems.
Or he can be a starter on
They got other problems.
Yeah,
he can be a starter on a really bad team.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
We got other problems. Hot damn. Next trade.
This will be a perfect segue eventually. You'll see where I'm
We're
going.
gonna get the Cleveland guys.
Yeah, here comes the books. Dwayne Wade goes back to Miami for a heavily protected second-round pick.
I think this is good for everybody involved.
Yeah,
it's going to save D Wade and LeBron's friendship. D Wade goes back to the place where he's known, Wade County instead of Dade County. You saw the little girl. Did you see the thing on Twitter where her mother told her her favorite player's coming back and she was just hysterically giggling? This is great for Miami, and I love that they brought him off the bench immediately and didn't start no stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a role. You come off the bench. You know, it would have been nice to start him just for him, but for the team mentality and everything, let him know he's coming off the bench. We don't need any controversy, and I love seeing him back in the Heat uniform myself.
He's the greatest player in Heat history by far, and I love that this worked out for everybody. Like you said, if you looked at the reactions, Hassan Whiteside was my favorite. You guys see that?
I did.
He found out while he was doing a regular interview, right? So they said, "What do you think about Dwayne Wade coming back to the team?" He said, "Y'all joking, right?" And he said, "Oh, are you serious?" And then he was like, "Really?" He's like, "Looks like I'm getting alarms again." Man, come on back, Dwayne. And it was almost the same reaction as LeBron had when going to Miami, because they're close enough friends. And I've had this with people that I've worked with that are such good friends. Them going to a job or a competitive situation is, we're brothers, man. Like, you go do your thing and make your money. That's totally fine. That's where you belong right now. And so I think it's great for everybody. But also, I think Dwayne Wade is a good pickup with the Heat because they were starting to waver and falter. And this Blake Griffin acquisition by Detroit makes the musical chairs of the Eastern Conference playoffs way more interesting and different. Right? And the thing is, Eastern Conference, people talk about, we've covered this before, people talk about the East like it's a year or 2 years ago. If outside of the fact that there are more theoretical championship contenders in the West, the overall playoff picture is not that different. We have two teams at the top above 70%, so does the West. And then the third team we have is the Cavaliers, which everybody assumes is roughly, which we'll get to, roughly on par with anybody 3-4 down in the West. And then you look at all these teams going down to 9, you have to be over 500 to get into the East again in the playoffs. It used to be 44% to get you in. You know, so the East is not the same. There's no easy out. In fact, if Detroit gets in, is there a team that you would be shocked if Detroit upset them? Shocked? Nah, I don't know about shocked. Like, they're not the favorite. That's why it's an upset, but I would be shocked. So Dwayne Wade going to Miami Heat is actually really big for them in this current playoff race. If he can establish that chemistry on Whiteside and help him get back to his productivity.
I like it. Good breakdown, folks. Mazik, any thoughts on Wade and Miami?
I definitely like the trade. I definitely like Wade leaving. I think he's addition by subtraction. I felt that way even when he was here. At this point, Wade is, I think, the only city in the NBA where he can be an asset is Miami. Because it felt like Wade is the dude that comes to the gym who used to be amazing, and he still carries himself like he is as amazing as he was. And if you don't acknowledge his past greatness, then you probably don't have a problem with him. I thought he was horrible for the Bulls. Horrible for the team chemistry, horrible for the locker room, and I don't doubt he had a similar impact in Cleveland. And he had an even stronger enabler in LeBron. So if you send him to Miami, he is that dude that he wants to be everywhere else.
That's a good point. You know, that's a difficult thing. Because he doesn't know that he doesn't have it anymore. You know what I mean? When you're that great, what happens is you say, oh, well, I had a bad game, or, my knee's not back right, or my conditioning. There's always something you can look to before you're the last one to recognize that you're washed, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? When you've been great that long, and the reason he carries himself like that is because if the right circumstances happen, he'll give you 40 again. But he believes that consistently. Guys don't make moves like that or shots like that unless they truly believe. They're not trying to psych themselves up. They really believe they're the best player on the planet. It takes time for that to filter out of your system and for you to recognize, damn, I'm kind of washed right now. You know what I mean? Because he's always like, well, when I get this ice bag on 2 days of rest, I'm a monster. You know what I mean? It just keeps you attractive until he finds out, oh, I'm just washed. That's just all it's to it.
I agree with you to an extent, but I think Dwayne Wade, remember a couple of years ago when we talked about Dwayne Wade's knee injury, and I said the kind of knee injury he has in his career, the travel is going to be too much for him.
You do say that.
Right? And then he had a long stretch where he was way below the level. I think because he's been through that, and then had to come back up, and then kind of went through it again, and then kind of had to come back up, and now he's basically this, borderline starter sixth man kind of guy. He was at such a height. He was at Kobe Bryant's level pretty much at one point in his career. He knows he's not that anymore. I think his body hurts too much. I think it's been hurt too much. I think he's too fatigued. I think he knows he's different. I just don't think he thinks he's a scrub. Partially because Dwayne Wade's always been an extremely intelligent offensive and defensive player. You know what I mean? So the problem is he never developed a shooting game to complement that intelligence. If he can do that later in his career, like we saw Jason Kidd do, really kind of polish that, pull-up jumper off, on the three-point lineup, I don't think he is washed in terms of a guy who can help your team and make big plays as a role player who overplays his role from time to time. In terms of Dwayne Wade, he's been so far from prime Dwayne Wade for so long. I mean, Dwayne Wade was better than James Harden in his peak, in my opinion. Still, as great as James is. I think James is a monster right now. But Dwayne Wade was also a phenomenal defensive player while being very close offensively and a better finisher inside. Right? Didn't have the three-point numbers, but amazing finisher inside, ridiculous crossover, crazy post game, especially for his height, and a ridiculous defensive play. That was his height. He knows he's not that.
Good stuff, folks. Good stuff.
Yeah, I always told people I would take Wade over Kobe. Prime Wade, I like Prime Wade over Kobe. I just thought he was a more efficient scorer, a better defender, and a better teammate, especially when he was in his prime. In his prime, I thought he was a better teammate. But now, he is not aged well from a teammate standpoint. I sat and I watched him last year with Jimmy Butler literally divide a fragile locker room with it's us over here and it's y'all over there. And me and Jimmy doing our job, y'all suck. Literally have those types of comments like every week, as soon as a mic gets put in his face. And I'm like, one of the biggest reasons why you were brought here was to be a certain type of a presence. And you're being everything but that. You got a young coach who has a problem dealing, he's still developing his voice, and you stepping on his throat every chance you get. And I'm like, and so to me in Cleveland, with LeBron as your boy, oh my God, that's a hot mess.
Good point. Good point. I like you guys' assessment of Wade's abilities. I think as players get older, you forget how dominant, how good they were when they were younger. You know, especially as you're watching them become less of the players they were. Wade was incredible, man. He was an incredible player.
And look, he better than Alfred Payton and Moutier put together. Right now. You know what I'm saying? If the Knicks had got Dwayne Wade, I'd be like, yeah! How many minutes you got? You go back to back.
That's what's up. Hey, but Mazik, I think to your point, I think you and both. If he had worked more on his jump shot, because you still have to give him space because he'll weasel his way to the basket. He could get all the wide open 18-footers that he can get. If he was a much better shooter, and especially if he could extend that out, he could definitely extend his career. You know, I think the way the league changed went away from it, and it went away from what he's effective at. You know what I mean? And that hurt him also.
I actually think he's tried. And I just think he just can't find consistency from deep. I think he's worked on it. I think he's worked on it consistently, but for whatever reason, he, you know, like last year, at the beginning of last year, he was shooting a 3-ball better than he ever had. He told everybody,
Let's go, man.
I've been working on it. I've been working. I told y'all that 3-ball was going to be different this year. But as the season went on,
Benjamin
became Wade from deep.
Yeah, I think personally,
30%.
I'm sorry. I think personally he'd have to change his mechanics to be a good shooter out there and transfer to somebody who's not shooting with a lot of leg. You know what I mean? And if he makes that transition, it'll be better for him. Because like Book said, on nights when he's hurting, he can't get the lift he needs. You know, and that's a lot of stress on him. So.
Yep. Career 29% from 3-point range.
I think we could do that right now. We could go out there and shoot 29%. And that was not my forte, was the 3-ball, so.
Yeah,
but hit us up, Matt.
Yeah, right, the best from 3 was when in 08-09 he shot 32% from 3. That was the year he led the league for points.
Okay.
Since we talked about Cleveland, we'll get to the Cleveland. Like, let's do it this way. So Cleveland ships out Derrick Rose, Jay Crowder, Iman Shumpert. They ship out their own first-round pick. Oh, God, who am I missing here? Hold on. I got my list.
Channing Frye,
yeah, that's right. And Isaiah Thomas, of course. So Isaiah Thomas, Channing Frye, 2018 pick. That goes to the Lakers. Rose and Crowder go to Utah. Rose is going to get waived. They're not going to buy him out. They're just going to waive him. So he'll go wherever he wants. They bring in Rodney Hood, George Hill. They bring in Larry Nance and Jordan Clarkson. And I actually really like what they did. I think they got a lot better in than what they shipped out.
What do you think, Mazik, as far as what Cleveland was able to bring in versus what they shipped out? Like, not so much what do you think they can do with it, but just do you like this team that they've assembled with this?
I really like it. I really think they improved their team overall. I think they got younger. I think they got more versatile as far as from the perimeter defensive standpoint. I think this team needed an injection of youth, hunger, and just new blood overall. And while there's something absolutely to be said for chemistry, they had none to begin with. So I would prefer to be trying to get some new guys on board. I love that. I don't think any of the people that they acquired have a ring. You know, I love that because there's a sense of complacency and a sense of that won't be there, and there's a sense of desperation that might be because these guys have not won yet. They're not tired of playing with LeBron. You know, they're not tired of running to the spot so the big muscle-bound dude can hit you in the corner. They're not tired of playing that way. So they will buy in. And perhaps some of the people who were getting on other guys' nerves are now gone. So now you can get their buy-in back again. The one thing that they did not address, and still might be addressed as they deal with free agent buyouts, is they didn't get a rim protector. So defensively, that was a huge issue for them, and it still is. Right now, LeBron and Tristan Thompson is probably the best shot blockers they got on the team, and maybe Ante Zizic if they let him play. So who knows? But I would definitely be trying to hoping and praying that the Phoenix Suns buy out Tyson Chandler.
Yes, sir.
If Phoenix buys out Tyson Chandler, I would love to run him out there if I'm Cleveland for 17, 20 minutes a game. Rebound, set the tone on defense, and move from there. I'd be scared as I don't know what a bogut, but he'd be second. I'd even call Emeka Okafor and ask him how's his game.
I think he just got called up somewhere.
He's with is it New Orleans?
Yeah, something like that. So
yeah,
I mean,
Cleveland's talking about that roster spot's going to go to Kendrick Perkins.
No.
Yes, Kendrick Perkins is the name that's been brought up.
He was a stiff 2-3 years ago. What does he even like now?
He doesn't. And then who can he guard in one fashion?
Nobody. He can foul somebody for you. That's about it.
You're going to bring him in there and put someone to the floor.
Yeah, man, I don't know about that. And you know what? I was disappointed that they didn't move Mr. Kardashian. I really felt like Tristan Kardashian needed to be moved. He's a distraction on the team, and he hasn't been producing. You know what I mean?
He's the old first team. Keep getting them checks right now.
Ding, bring it back, books.
You know what I'm saying? He getting them checks. If I could jump in on the Cleveland stuff real quick, I think from an energy standpoint, this potentially makes them a lot better. Because I do think they just had too many people who'd been to the finals 100 times, who'd played 100-game seasons over and over and over again, who'd heard the LeBron stuff over and over. And IT is in a really tough situation because he was not given time to recover from his injury. And the thing is, people are blaming that on IT, but it's actually the rest of the Cavs' fault. Because there's no reason their defense should have been that bad before he got there. Even when they were winning, their defense was terrible. So when IT came back, instead of him being able to roll along slowly, every game they're like, so you shot back yet? Your legs back yet? How you doing? How's the shot? You take another three? Ooh, that didn't go in. Are you hurt? Like, that should not be on a finals team. That's not the position he should have been in. Right? He should have been allowed to recover up until late March. Should have been when he's being rounded into shape. But between them losing Kevin Love, between the Kardashian curse, between the fact that nobody's playing D, including LeBron, his defense is terrible right now. Awful defense, right? So
he's the worst defender in the league statistically.
IT got scapegoated. All he did was come back from injury and tell the truth. You know what I'm saying?
No. Let's get into that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I got a big problem with Isaiah Thomas, and this is for you guys out there, man. You cannot overestimate your own value to yourself or to the organizations that you happen to be working for. I feel like if we rewound this to the time that Isaiah said they're gonna have to back up the Brinks truck, you hear that scratch sound that says, this is the moment when you messed up. From that time forward, he set off a series of events that are just continuing to let him know, no, my Negro, you are not who you think you are. You are 100% expendable. You are a one-trick pony who was in the perfect situation and got the perfect results, and everywhere else you might not even be a part of the league. Because he thinks folks, he was making them speeches in Cleveland like he was Kyrie Irving. And I saw the mistake he was making because he's like, yo, they traded me for Kyrie. It's me and LeBron. No, my brother. It's not you and LeBron. This is LeBron's squad. You sit down, shut up until your hip feels better, and you can come out here and contribute. He was awful on the floor, and then he had the audacity to go in there and talk about we not died. I don't know when the last time we died on the floor. I don't know when's the last time you could guard your man.
Okay, so here's the thing. IT, all the floors that people talk about with IT, in terms of him, what he did before, none of that stopped Boston from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, while he averaged just about 30 points a game and 6 assists. So, in terms of him being that dude, the reason he's not that dude, at least in his own mind, is because he's hurt and he's only played 15 games. after not being able to do basically anything with his legs for the longest time. He doesn't have his explosion. He doesn't have his lift. Even